And tomorrow, the game is on. Now, if I had my way, let me also try and give you possibilities. If I had my way, obviously it's an away fixture in that sometimes you approach these games with a little caution because you are not too certain of, one, the pitch and the quality of the pitch and how good you guys can play on that pitch. And I know for sure that the pitch in Comoros is not in the best of states. It will be one that will be bumpy. It will be difficult for the players to control the ball like they usually would want to on a good pitch. So that will be a concern. Is the reason why I will not also, however, throw caution away. I want to be a bit cautious, but still, I'll put the game with the mindset that I want to win this game. I won't go into the game thinking the best for me will be or should be a draw. If I was a coach, if I was Chris Hughton in the game tomorrow, I want to make a point. I want to prove that I can be flexible. He's been accused of being, like I said, too conservative in his approach to football games, whether home or away. He kind of wants his team to be tight at the back while sacrificing a lot more of the attacking instincts of a team like he has. But if you look at what the Black Stars players and the team we have currently, you have players who rather have got a strength in attacking than defending, a lot more of them in the team as we speak. Okay. So you need to be playing to the strengths of your team and the players you have. I've seen Chris try to be defensive, but clearly it's not worked in all the games he's played because we end up conceding and then we try late on in the game to try and get a goal or two to win the game. And it's been the signature of Chris Hughton throughout his tenure as the coach of the Black Stars for about a year plus now. Almost a year now. In all the qualifiers for the AFCON last time round, Angola, here in Ghana, then CAR, here in Ghana, Madagascar, in Antananarivo, it was clear he wants to be compact, he wants to be tight at the back, whilst relying on the skill set of players like Mohammed Kudus on the counter-attack and his brilliance, and sometimes Ernest Nyama, and then Antoine Semenyo to try and get more goals to win. But they end up, struggling till late on in the game. So check, against Angola, we left it late. We scored the winner over 80 minutes of football. We were still drawing. We scored a winner late in the game. Against CAR, same thing. We considered by pooled even at halftime, but second goal came late on in the game as well to win the game for Ghana. And then this Friday, against Madagascar in Kumasi again, we struggled. We wanted to approach the game in a tight way, so packed the two defensive midfielders against Madagascar in Ghana. So sacrifice attack for defense. So when we needed the goals, we had to now throw that away and bring on players who could progress the ball, like Majid, like Usman, like Ernest Nyama, who came on and ensured that we got a winning goal. Late on, it was about the 95th minute. Yeah. And we won the game. So the approach of the coach is so obvious. But I'm saying that approach cannot help us. The players coach Chris Hughton has at his disposal, are players, most of whom love attacking football and are not too caught or are not too good at that defensive-minded game that the coach wants to play. So for the game tomorrow, if I was Chris Hughton, I would make an exception and try the other option and see how it goes for me against Comoros. If we cannot win that game, we will know how to approach our next or following in the games. In next year, because the next game after this will be in next year, the AFCON, and then the qualifiers resume in March or April thereabout. In goal, yes, I agree with my man here. Richard Ofori came back, he didn't concede, so maintain him. His huge frame and everything is so calm when he's in goal, so let's maintain Richard Ofori in goal for the game tomorrow. At right back, clearly, Alidu had issues. He has so much passion with his game, and I love that about him. But he seems to be a bit too raw and needs to also work a bit on his technical play as well. He's a bit too raw still.
Snapchat.
He's just too raw. I don't want to go with that Snapchat. He's too raw. He needs to work on that. So yes, I'll opt for the more experienced head in Dennis Odoi. Let's maintain Odoi at right back and see how he fares. Left back, obviously, is Gideon Mensah. For me, I think he's the best bet, even though Hamid of Mediama is the other option we have in the team. But I think I will still stick with Gideon Mensah and hoping that he can be more consistent. He should be more assertive. Sometimes he looks too frail, like as though he's afraid. And
true.
He should be a lot more assertive. This is a black, Gideon Mensah, Black Stars material. Be confident in yourself and show it on the field of play. So I'll maintain Gideon Mensah. Defensive pair at the back, it's obvious it will be Kasim and, of course, Nicholas Opoku. Two big men, huge men. But you see, they must be careful. Comoros have got players who can run in attack. These two men lack pace. Kasim Nuhu and Opoku Nicholas lack pace. When players go at them with pace and running and with speed, they should be careful with the positioning to ensure that they are not, exposed on a counter attack or with pace. So those two will play. The cover for them will be the man, clearly, who for me have been impressed since he joined the Black Stars team. Salis Samet.
Yeah, true.
He should be the one who sits in front of these two.
He has never had a bad game.
Absolutely. So Salis for me will be the number 6, usual number 6, paired with Majid Ashimeru. And the role of Ashimeru, we all know, he can defend and he can progress the ball better. Salis is the one who wants to get the ball pass, a short passing, he takes the pace, short pass, that's Salis. And then Majid is a carrier. He carries the ball and can run and give off very good passes as well. So Majid together with Salis, and they are good friends. They don't know themselves very, very well. These two for me will be the base of our midfield. In front of the two, I'll put Mohammed Kudus. I'll play Mohammed Kudus in the typical old-fashioned number 10 role. The typical old-fashioned number 10 role, that's how I'll play Kudus Mohammed behind the striker. He can roam. That's the typical number 10. Roam behind the striker, wherever. Just come for the ball because that's Mohammed Kudus for you. A bit close to the penalty box of the opponent because he can wave his magic, he can win you fouls, he can win you penalties, and he can shoot from distance to even get you goals. So Kudus behind the striker, and then flanking Kudus will be on the wings. And for me, I'll tell you what, it's an away fixture. We may not have possession on our side. It is why I will not take it easy if my players dilly-dally on the ball. We must be very swift with our attacks, quick in movement with our attacks, decisive and direct. They won't come plenty for us. So once we get the ball and we are moving, Kudus can be very swift on the ball with his runs. I will need players who match that on the flanks for me. It is why I'll go for one. The right side will be Ernest Nyama. Ernest Nyama, either Ernest Nyama or someone else, but I'll maintain that name first. Ernest Nyama will be my first option on the right side of our attack, the right side, because he has the ability to hang on to the ball, swiftly either cut in and try to shoot directly a goal, or even go by the byline and put in a cross for the strikers to come in and get the ball into the net. On the left side, I'll go for Usman Bukari, another player who has been in some good form for Red Star Belgrade in Serbia and even in the Champions League. Another player with so much skill and pace and can torment defenders, especially for a fixture which is away from home. So again, I'll bank my hopes on the left side in Usman Bukari and not Jordan Ayew. I'll ban Jordan for a very simple reason. Yes, experienced, yes, technically very aware and all of that, but at times he slows the attack down with his ball control and how he always wants to take on a player or two. In a fixture away from home, where I want to be swift with my counter attacks and get a goal or two, I will not go for the option of Jordan Ayew. I rather want to stick with Usman Bukari. So for me, it is either Usman Bukari, Ernest Nyama on the wings, or the other option will be Joseph Pencil on either flanks, whether the right or the left. So it's for me the three of them. Two of them are going to start. Usman Bukari on the left, Ernest Nyama on the right, or either flanks. I could also have the option of Joseph Pencil. Then the attack, the one-man attack, I will not go with Inaki Williams. And I'll tell you why I won't go for Inaki Williams. I'll go for Antoine Simon. Even though he scored in the last game. Wow. And even though he improved with the general play in the last game. You know why I won't go for Inaki Williams? I think the terrain will not help him. That pitch will not help Inaki. He will struggle. And I want to save him that by playing someone who has showed me a bit of brute and aggression with his game even though he also didn't play his football here from the start, I'll go for Semenyo in the game because he's shown clearly that he has something different to his game. He can be a lot more aggressive with his game and can survive for me anywhere on the continent. So I would prefer to go with Antoine Semenyo as a low man in attack, and behind him have Mohammed Kudus, and I will do that because I think the pitch in that country will not help Inaki Williams. It will be terrible for him because it will be too bumpy. But I think Semenyo can survive a lot more on this terrible pitch because of his brute nature and how he can be aggressive with his game. So that's my 11. Then I will hope, if indeed Chris Hilton, I was in that saddle with the deputies, I would have gone in for. So in summation, Richard Ofori, Dennis Odoi, Gideon Mensah, Opoku, Nicholas, and Kasim Nuhu, Majida Shimeru, and Salih Samet in midfield. Ahead of the two will be Mohammed Kudus in number 10 role. On the flanks, Ernest Niama on the right, Usman Bukhari on the left, or Joseph Pencil, and then the attack will be led by Antoine Semenyo in the game tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we'll see how the first half will pan out, and then we can decide on what to do after the first 45 minutes. But that is Benjamin Yama Benghazi and Coach Delali Frank Aute. But for Coach Chris Hilton, he has his own ideas. He has his own plans, and I'm sure tomorrow we will see his approach and how he will approach the game tomorrow. But whatever it is a game we cannot afford to lose. We need to amass the points, as many as we can, on the road and also at home, especially against some of these ties in our group. We're in a group with Madagascar, Comoros, Chad, CAR, and Mali. Ghana inclusive 6. We must pick as many points as we can on the road. It will come in handy when everything is said and done. And like it is said, this World Cup is so important that we cannot afford to lose out to either a Mali or any other team in our group. Ghana must qualify. And to do so, we need to play well and win well. What we saw in Kumasi was not convincing, even though we won eventually. That cannot convince us that sort of style can win games away from home. We need to go beyond the drawn results and begin to win games away from home. So let's go out there tomorrow and do better, and play better, and win better.